back. Today we have a very exciting Python topic. Today we are talking about Python dictionaries. First of all, what is dictionary? In Python, a dictionary is a data type that uses a key to access values. So in today's videos, we are going to practice the core skills for Python dictionaries. And we are going to define and create a dictionary. We are going to see how we can access values safely using direct indexing this.get function. 3. We are going to see how we can add, updates, and remove items in a dictionary. 4. We are going to learn how we can iterate with .key, .values, and .items. And finally, we are going to work with nested dictionaries. So nested dictionary basically is a dictionary inside another dictionary. So let's do it. So let's do this. So first of all, we are going to see how we can create a dictionary. I'm going to start by creating my variable called students. And inside my variable, I'm going to put my dictionary. So how do we create a dictionary? We use these curly brackets to create a dictionary. So, and inside my curly brackets, I'm gonna put my values. So every single item gonna have a key and value. So now I'm gonna create my first key, which is ID, and inside my ID, I'm gonna put the value of 101. All right. So next, what I'm doing is I'm gonna create the second key called name, the name of our students, and inside the key name, I'm gonna put the name of our student and we're gonna call him Ari. Okay, so next we are going to create another key called the GPA. So the GPA of our student is a good student. Let's give him 3.5 GPA. So I just created our first dictionary. We had our variable called students, and we have everything inside our dictionary. We have the keys and the values. We have in the left side, we have our keys, and in the right side, we have our values. And remember, you cannot use a list as a key. Alors, next, we're going to see how we can add a value in our dictionary. So let's say we have ID of our student, which is 101 in this case. We have the name of our students, Ari, and we have the GPA, 3.5. But, well, we don't know the major of our student. How can we add the major of our students in our dictionary? So let's see how we can do that. So we're gonna use the indexing operator just like almost, not like, but almost just like we do using the list. So I'm gonna do student, and I'm gonna do major, which is the major I'm going to give our students. Major, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna say equal to CSS. So this is how we add a value. So this is one way. There are many ways we can add a value inside our dictionary, but I think this is the easiest way to add values inside a dictionary. And if we try to print, if we print our students, oh gosh, let's print and see what we get. I think now you can see that we have the ID of our student is 101, the name is Ari, the GPA 3.5, but now we have a new value, major CS. That is how you can add an item inside a dictionary. One thing, remember, lists cannot be used as keys in a dictionary. All right, let's move on. Add a new value in your dictionary. So next, in part B, we are going to see how we can access values, the values of our dictionary. So now I'm going to create a new dictionary called grades. And inside our grade, I'm going to put our dictionary or our grades. We will give our student Ari. He does have 92 grades. We will take our student Medar. He have 88. Didn't work very good this semester. Now we have our student Chandra. Chandra has 95, the good student. Okay, so what we're doing here is we are trying to see how we can access values inside our dictionary. So now I'm gonna do prints, and after print I'm going to print the grades, but the grade of who? If I want, I can print the grade and it's gonna print the whole dictionary, but I don't need it. I only want to access the values of one key. Let's say we want to access the value of Medar. I'm just gonna use the indexing operator, and inside it, I'm gonna put our string, which is our key, Medar, and I'm gonna close it. And now, if I run our program, we will get only the value of the key Medar, and which is 88. That's how we access values from a dictionary. But we also can use get. So the get method returns the value of the item with the specified key. So the get method returns the value of the item with the specified key. So let's see how we use the get method. So the way we use gets, I'm gonna create a variable called g meter equal, and what I'm going to do is I am going to take my grades and do dot get, and what I'm going to get is I'm going to get let's in this case let's do I'm going to get the values of the key area. Okay, and now I'm gonna change here. I'm gonna do array because I'm not taking the values of Medar, which makes sense. All right, so in this case, we are going to print G array, and so we can see the result. So G array. So if I run our program, you can see we got back that the program will return, or the get method return the value of the item with the array key. So that's how the get method works in Python. Next, remember this. Sometimes you will try to get a key which does not exist in your dictionary. Let's say we are trying to get the key Z. Doesn't exist in our dictionary. What happened? Let's see what happened in that case. So we are going to do get Z equal, and we do grades dot get, and we getting who? We getting Z, and we are going to print this and run and see if it works or what happened. So now I'm getting Z, get Z. So if we print, we get none. So this is how get work in Python. Instead of the program giving you an error, if it looks in in your dictionary and there is nothing compared to your key, then the program gonna return, or Python will return none. But also using get, we can give it a default value to return if it didn't find the key. So now we are going to see how we can add values, update, or remove values from our dictionaries. First, I'm going to create a new dictionary called Course. All right, as we have our dictionary, but if you noticed one thing here is inside our dictionary, we have other dictionaries. I think you can see that. And this is how dictionary work. They also do nested dictionary. These are what we call nested dictionaries. So now we are going to see how we can add, update, or remove values from our dictionaries. So now we have our dictionary of courses, and our courses, we have the courses here, the titles, which is Intro to Computer Science, Calculus 1, US History, credits, and our credits, you can see them here. But the first thing I want to do is I want to add a new course to our dictionary. So how I can do that? So to add a new course, I can do courses, and so here I'm gonna use our operators, and I'm gonna put inside the course I want to add, which now I'm going to add the CS205. This is the code I want to add to our dictionary. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say equal, because this is a dictionary I want to put inside a dictionary. So this is the title of our dictionary, which is the key of our dictionary. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now take the dictionary I'm going to put inside. So I'm gonna do our curly brackets, and inside our curly brackets, I'm gonna do again title. What is the title? So the title, I'm gonna do data structures, data structures, structures, and what else I want to add inside is the credits, because remember we also have the credits in our first dictionary. So I'm gonna again do credits is our key. So I'm going to do credits, and the credits this time of the data structures is 4. So 4 is the credits, but I cannot leave it like this. So I have to close it inside our. All right. So what I did here is I added another dictionary inside our dictionary. So this is the same as we are using our variable causes. This is the one we are using in this case. And the values, we are going to put this here, as you can see here. And this is the one we are going to put inside this here. So I think you can see that, and how it's working. It's simple. You can see it's very simple. So if we try to print our course, just to show you the results for now. So if I print, I'm gonna get our results, the dictionary we had first earlier, but now we have a new dictionary inside called title data structures credit 4. But this time it's coming as a list inside the dictionary. So this is very cool. I think you see how this can work. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to see how we can update a value inside a dictionary. So how we can do this? So I have this dictionary here, CS101, which is the Intro to Computer Science, and the credits are 3. By this time, I want to update the credit, but I don't want to touch anything to my dictionary. I want it to stay like it is, but I want to update the value. So how I can do it? So to update the value inside my dictionary, I'm gonna again use my course. I just forgot here. So I'm gonna use my course, and again I'm gonna do the same thing as I did before. I'm gonna take the key of my dictionary that I want to update. So the key is CS101. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it again. And next, and inside the new one, I'm going to do the credits. So I'm going to call again credits, which is the key here. And the credits I want this time is going to be 4. I think you see how this is working. Oh, I think you saw how I did and how we did in this case. So we just called our variable causes. We open the brackets. We put our key inside, which is CS101. We close the bracket. We open the bracket again. We do the credit we want to update, and we close the bracket. Outside, we do equal, and we update from 3 to 4. That is how it works. If I want, I can now print, and you will see if I run our program again. So I hope it did work. Where is CS101? The credits now, instead of being 3, it's 4. That is how you can update without changing, without modifying your dictionary. Okay, so now let's see how we can delete or remove items from our dictionary. So to delete or remove item, to delete or remove items from our dictionary, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the del function. So the del function or method, and now I'm going to do courses dots. No. So now I'm going to do courses, and I'm gonna open our brackets again. I'm gonna tell it what I'm going to delete. I'm just gonna delete our history 210. I'm gonna close our brackets, and that's it. So if I print again, let me run the program and see if it works. And if you look up here, you won't find our hist 210 anywhere. So it was deleted very successfully. So that is how the del function works in Python. So this is how you can delete anything without, again, without modifying your Python dictionary. So far, we learned how we can create dictionaries. We did see how we can access values from our dictionary. We did learn how to use get method and how we can update values, how we can remove, how we can so now what we are going to learn now, what we are going to do is we are going to see how we can use the for loop. We are going to see how we can use the for loop to iterate over keys, values, and items inside our dictionary. So let's see how we do that. So here I'm going to create a new dictionary called inventory. And inside our inventory, I'm going to put my dictionary and pens. I got 12 pens, notebooks. Books, I still have only 4. I got markers. I still have only 2. And finally, these are erasers. And this time I have 9. All right. So what I want to do is I want to see how I can use a for loop to iterate and look at each value inside each key and value inside my dictionary. So I'm gonna define a function called check-in. I'm gonna put our inventory as a parameter inside our function. So next, I'm just gonna, cause my goal here, my goal is to take the total items quantity across all products iterate over. So my mission in this case is I want to iterate over my dictionary. I'm gonna look at each key and value. If the value of one items, so what I need to do is I need to iterate over. So I'm gonna use the for loop and iterate over the keys and values of my items. So if I find the pair with the quantity less than 5, I'm gonna put these items inside my list, and then I will update it. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna iterate over my keys and values of my items. And what I want to do is if I find the quantity of an item which is now less than 5, I am going to take that item and put it inside my list. And this is just going to be an empty list. And now I am going to use the for loop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do for name and quantity. So for name and quantity in inventory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do for name quantity in inventory dot items if the quantity is less than 5 list, and I'm going to append the name and quantity inside. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say is name and quantity inside. This is what I'm going, so it's gonna be like a tuple. I'm going to take the tuple or the list of the quantity, the name and the quantity, and I'm gonna put it inside my list. So next I'm going to tell Python to return. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna say return. I think you saw what we did here. What we did here is we created a a new Python dictionary, and our goal is to look inside our dictionary, iterate over our keys and values, look everything. So if one of our items has quantity, the quantity of one of our items, the quantity is less than 5, we're gonna take that item and we're gonna put it inside our empty list. We're gonna update it, or we're gonna append it to our list. And lastly, Python is going to return the list. All right, now I'm gonna do to refill, and I'm gonna say equal. I'm gonna say checking, which is the name of our function, and inside I'm gonna pass it inventory. All right, so if now I print, I'll see what I'm going to print here is I'm going to print the refill and see all our items that the quantity is less than 5. So I'm gonna say to refill. All right, let's run the program and see if it working. So trace back, must recall, name checking and check in. All right, this is the problem here. So if I run again, same thing. Oh my God, this is the problem again. Mistake here. Inventory. All right, so we run again. Bam. So the quantity, the items that the quantity is less than 5 is our notebooks, which is the quantity is 4, and our markers, the quantity is 2. And we defined our function. We created an empty list. We use the for loop to look our keys and quantity in the inventory. We use the item function. All right, so finally, let's see how we can work with nested dictionaries. So as we said, nested dictionaries are basically dictionary inside dictionary. So if we have dictionaries inside a dictionary, those are nested dictionaries. And we're gonna see how we can create them and how we can use them for many things. So first, I'm going to create a new dictionary called catalog. All right. So, okay. So this is our dictionary. So what we're going to do is, I think you can see here, our catalog is the first dictionary, but which has many dictionaries inside. You can see one dictionary as the whole, but we have also 3 dictionaries inside. This is called nested dictionary. All right. So we will see how we can work with them. And now what I'm going to do, the goal of this one is, so this time we were given a catalog where each value is another dictionary with price and stock. So the task we want to complete is we're gonna write a function and we will multiply every price by 1 minus the percentage. All right. So let's see how we can do this and the result we will get. So in this case, I'm gonna define again my function, and I'm gonna say apply cell, and I'm gonna pass my catalog inside, which I'm going to create a new thing called I'm gonna do my percentage. All right. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a for loop, and I'm gonna do item, and I'm gonna do dot value to be able to look our keys and value, to be able to look our values. So I'm gonna do dot values parentheses, and I'm gonna say item. I'm gonna open my brackets, and the price is what I want in this case. So, all right, so I'm gonna close my brackets. And as we said before, we are going to take this item price, we're gonna multiply. So I'm gonna do times equal, and I'm gonna open again the bracket and do what we were told, minus the PCT. All right, and now what Python is going to do is we are going to ask Python to return. So see here we have this very big dictionary. It's a dictionary and has many dictionaries inside. All right, so we are going to write this function, and what our function is going to do is going to multiply every single price. We're going to multiply every single price by 1 minus the percentage in place. So yeah, and the only way we can do that is we have to use the for loop to look inside our dictionary here, to look inside, and to look every single value. So we will take, whenever we take the item, we're gonna take the price of our item, and then we will multiply by 1 minus the percentage. This is the variable I used. All right, so next we will ask Python to return the item. Okay, so next what we are going to do is we are going to create a second function, and we're gonna call our second function def, and we're gonna say restock. And what we're going to pass inside, so we're gonna say catalogs, we're gonna take the name, and finally we will say the amount. All right, so this is a mistake here. So after this, what we're going to do is we are saying if the name in our catalog, so if we find the name in our catalog, then what we're doing, we're gonna take the catalog and we're gonna take the name, that name, we're gonna also say stock. Let me close this. The stock is we're gonna add, so we're gonna say plus equal the amount. That's what we're doing. We're saying take the catalog, the catalog name. We're saying take the catalog name. We doing here something is we're creating a new dictionary. We're gonna take the catalog name. If we didn't find it, we're gonna do the price. This is a new one. We're gonna do the price, which is the key, and we're gonna give it a default value. Let me do 0.0, and we're gonna say and we will give it amount. All right, so this is what we're doing so far. So next what we're doing is we're gonna create a new so next what we're doing here is we're gonna call our function called apply, and with apply cell we're gonna give it the catalog, and we will say, let's say 10%, which is 0.10, and we calling again the catalog. This time we are taking the pencil and the value of 20. Right. All right. So next what we're doing, I'm gonna do a new list. And what I'm doing here is I'm gonna again use the for loop for item. So again, price equal price equal item, and I'm gonna again take the price of the item, which is price. Next, we're gonna take the stock, our stock equal item and stock. Oh no, and stock. Okay. Next, we're doing value. So the value equal the price time the stock. So we are doing the value equal the price time the stock. And lastly, item item value that we're gonna append item value, which is the list, and we're gonna append the value. We're gonna append, in this case, we're gonna append our value. Okay. So this is our program so far. So first of all, we created this big dictionary here. We defined our first function that we use it to iterate over the dictionary, and we looked over all the values in our dictionary, and we took it all the values, then the item and the price of the item we multiplied by 1 minus the PCT here, and we returned the item. Next, our next function, restock, we took again, we did if the name is in the catalog, then catalog name and stock is equal or plus the amount. However, else state. All right, so now what we're doing is I'm going again to call our lists, which is the catalog value equal the sum of our let me see of our equal the sum of our okay equal the sum of our item values. Let me put this inside here, and now I can print our catalog value. So now I'm gonna do print, and what I'm going to print, let me use f string, and so I'm gonna say that total catalog the total catalog value, and I'm gonna let me use the dollar here, and the values I'm going to print is the catalog values. So let me do catalog value. Okay, and I'm going to round after two decimals. So all right, all right, okay, okay. All right, so this is our program. Let's test again and see if it works. So let's try again one more time and one last time. Okay. So the total catalog value